You have found a brand new podcast, episode 1. It's called Local Roots. I'm Todd Studer, and thank you so much for being a part of things. I have another show called Morning Coffee, which is a daily show centered around Council Bluffs, and we do branch out a little bit, but the idea was that these smaller, more rural communities around Pottawattamie County really deserved to have their own focus, and that's what Local Roots Pottawattamie County is all about. We're going to be partnering with Western Iowa Development Association and getting information from them to pass along to you, and I'll give you a few things that I heard from Stacy Kinney, who is the executive director of WIDA. By the way, you're doing a wonderful job, Stacy, and we're all very, very happy that you're in the position that you're in. But I am looking for nonprofits to talk to. I'm looking for small businesses to talk to, just the stories that are going on around Pottawattamie County. This is what we want to tell, and it doesn't even necessarily have to be in town. It can be outside of town. I know that a lot of rebuilding going on in Minden right now, and I had a chance to talk with Mayor Zimmerman about that just a few days ago, and he was very excited about some of the progress that's happening there, and we hope to have the mayor on very soon. Also, coming up in just a bit, there was a groundbreaking in Underwood last week, and it was behind the coffee shop Nesting Grounds. There's going to be a new collaborative workspace called the Greenhouse, and that is going to be going up very, very soon. They hope to have it completely operational and be able to take occupancy yet this year. And I talked with one of the owners of Nesting Grounds, that is Jody Bowes, and we'll get that to you in just a little bit. Also, by the way, Western Iowa Development Association has a new board member. So congratulations, Jamie Bush, for being a board member of WIDA. She's the owner of the Unique Boutique in Neola, and I've been in her shop. It's really, really cool. And Jamie also does a lot of work with the AIM Institute, which we like to feature on the Morning Coffee Show, and I'm sure that we will have them here as well. But again, the idea behind the show is to tell the stories and what life is like in some of these smaller communities. Folks that live in these towns are very, very proud of where they live, and they should be. And we want to put a little bit of a spotlight in there. By the way, just on a personal note, I want to say thank you. I went to a vinyl party just a couple of days ago and had a great time and picked up some albums from Canesville Collectibles in Council Bluffs. By the way, when I walked in there, Tim Behrens is the owner, and he said, "Hey, how you doing? What are you looking for today?" And I said, "I'm looking for a copy of City to City." And he said, "Oh, Jerry Rafferty, we just got that in today. Here you go." And look what I have. It's right there. Yeah, brought that home and also picked up another really cool album. Check this one out. That's a lot of folks, they call this their favorite Heart album. Little Queen has got some great tunes on it. Barracuda was their biggest hit, but the song Love Alive, which is cut number 2 on side 1, holy cow, that is a great, great song. So thanks to Tim over there, and he wanted me to remind everyone that there was a music and collector show coming up in April. It's April 6th. Now, this show is actually in Omaha, but it's worth going to because the River City Record Club, who has a lot of members on our side of the river, well, they are a big part of this, and it's going to be at the Firefighters Union Hall at 60th and Grover in Omaha on April 6th. So we'll tell you more about that as the date gets a little bit closer. Well, all right, let's learn a little bit more from Nesting Grounds owner Jody Bowes about that new greenhouse.
It's going to be a collective space to host different events, different community involvement groups, gather people to do different things within Underwood, and hopefully, the collaboration of all these people getting together will create an environment of more growth within the town, growth within individual businesses. Supporting local is huge, so if we can all come together and support each other and collaborate, I think it creates an environment that not many people can be or are a part of. So I'm happy to help facilitate that.
Where did the idea come from?
I love unique spaces. We built Nesting Grounds out of shipping containers. It's in the shape of a U to promote Underwood. And, there isn't a small place or a grain bin around here that you can, that is used. And I just love the idea. Once the design started, I was like, listen, we gotta continue this and try to try to grow it and see what we can do with it.
Well, and also I mean, let's be honest, if there's something that you can say, this is quintessential Iowa, that's it.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, absolutely. It's a very unique concept. I'm a little nervous on how to frame it because I do all the work there as well. So I think that it's going to be a really fun project that me and my husband and my boys can, help do. And this summer we're going to be very busy working on it. So
You have a target for when you're hoping it'll be open?
yes, my goal is to, before summer is started, is to at least get that main level completed, and then I'll work on the top part after that. So
Jody is a proud member of Western Iowa Development Association, and if you have a business around Pottawattamie County, you should really give this some consideration. Go to WIDA, that's WIDAiowa.org, and you can learn more about how your business can benefit from being a member of WIDA. And I know they're doing some wonderful work, and we're really excited about it. One of the reasons I wanted to get this show started, too, is this is kind of for a personal reason. It's just to prove to myself that you don't always have to have all of the answers before you begin something. I produce podcasts for people, organizations, nonprofits, some real estate agents, and we also have there's a podcast called Circle of Trades, which, by the way, Travis Waldstein with Circle of Trades, he has a couple of businesses, AirServe Heating and Air Conditioning, and also Waldstein Plumbing. Does a ton of business all around Pottawattamie County. This podcast is designed to open up the idea of young people going into the trades out of high school. He's not saying that every single person needs to do this, but he is saying that you should consider it as an option for young people who don't mind getting dirty, like hard work, and maybe the traditional 4-year option isn't for you. There are some great opportunities in the trades, and you have options. And that's the idea. Now, this week's guest on Circle of Trades is Rick Graybill. Rick has a business called Foxco Fabrication, and he's going to have a booth coming up this weekend at World of Wheels in Omaha. And he doesn't have cars. Rick is a welder, and he also makes signs, metal signs, and that's what he's going to be taking to World of Wheels, for, like your garage or maybe a man cave. And he also does a lot of cups. Let me show you something here real quick. This is one that he made for me. And sorry about jumping in on the microphone there. This is very, very cool. And by the way, the high quality. This is a high quality cup. I put coffee in here and 2 hours later, it's still too hot to drink. I mean, it really is a great insulator. And you can do this laser etching right on there. When he brought me this, I said, that is just the coolest thing I've ever seen. And oh, by the way, that's not my signature. That's just a signature that's inside of that. So if you can freeze this and try to copy that, yeah, it's not going to get you anywhere. That's not my signature. Anyway, so Rick has always been a huge supporter of mine and for any harebrained idea that I might come up with. And I also love the work that he does. So if you want to check out any of his other stuff, foxcofab.com is his website. But again, he is the guest on Circle of Trades talking about World of Wheels and also about a lot of other things. I'm on that podcast as well quite often, and we're all three there talking, and you get three guys that all like to try to outdo each other with a sense of humor. Yeah, it can sometimes go a little off the rails, and this episode maybe had done that. But I encourage you to watch it. You can find it on Facebook. You can find it on YouTube if you search Circle of Trades. And there's also an audio-only version out on Spotify that you can find as well. So new episodes out every week. I would encourage you to watch that. But as I was talking about, not knowing specifically how something's going to go, when I talk to potential podcast clients, what I tell them is you don't have to have it all figured out. And I can also promise you that the very first show you do will be the worst show you do. That's how it is. That's how it works. And you have to go through it. And that's kind of what I'm experiencing here right now, that I'm thinking there's so many different things that I think need to be polished and need to be better. And you know what? We're just going to go ahead anyway, because there's really no reason to wait. And I don't care what the project is or what idea you might have. If you're waiting for the perfect time, it's never going to come. Get started, whatever your passion is. And if it is podcasting, I'd love to talk to you. But, whatever your passion is, get going with it and just see where it takes you. I know with this particular medium, the only way to get better is to do it. And I also tell people, be willing to suck for a while. And that's okay. You don't have to be perfect. You can learn as you go. And you don't have to hit a home run every single time that you come up to the plate. I also say, because people ask me, is it going to be, what if it's bad? I hear that. What if it's a bad podcast? Okay, well, what are you comparing it to? Are you comparing it to somebody who's been podcasting for 10 years and you want your show to be as good as theirs was, but on the very first episode? Yeah, not going to happen. It's going to be bad. Are you comparing it to what show number 50 will be in a year from now? Yeah, it's going to be bad. Are you comparing it to what you are doing right today and what you did yesterday, which, by the way, if you didn't do one yesterday, but you are doing one today, then it's not bad. It's great because you've gotten started. That applies to anything. And I think that that's what really makes small town Iowa so many wonderful places to live, because we get that. We understand that it's hard work. You just put in the work. You may not be feeling like it that day. Do it anyway. I follow a young lady on social media. Her parents, the young lady's name is Cassie, and her parents have been documenting her learning to snowboard. And usually it's her mom that is videoing and her dad is with her going down. But they're just such fun videos, and maybe you've seen them. But my favorite one is young Cassie. She was either 6 or 7 at the time. She was wearing a jacket. And on the back of the jacket were the words that she looks like she may have written herself. And it said, "If you're scared, do it scared." And I thought, there's no better life lesson than that. Just do it. Just get started. So that's what we're doing here. We are just getting started. A lot more coming up. We're going to be making a lot of improvements along the way. A very good friend of mine who you may have heard of is in the works of creating a theme song for this. So we're going to have our own song for Local Roots. How about that? And by the way, the name for this, and you may have already realized this, but Local Roots has to do with the roads that go in between the communities. These are the roads that connect us. And I learned a long time ago, let's say, by the way, I used to have a radio career, if you don't know about me. And I spent some time at KMA back in the late 90s and into 2000. And I learned after I got there that Southwest Iowa is a very, very special place because people identify from being from this region. And I think, to be honest with you, I think KMA may actually have something to do with it. They've been on the air. This year is 100 years. Congratulations to those folks. But part of the reason is, I think, because they hit all of Southwest Iowa. So there's kind of a community feel. So if you are from Neola, if you are from Underwood, if you are from Minden, if you are from Oakland, or any other community inside of Pottawattamie County, there is a common thread that runs through that. And we all just kind of feel a little bit like family. And that's what I love about this part of the world. And that's what I love. I grew up in Iowa, born in Iowa. Anytime that I went somewhere else with my radio career, I always came back here. And there's a reason for that, because I'm just Iowa all the way down to my core. And the folks that live here in these small towns are the same way. So that's what we want to highlight. Need to hear these stories? You can send me an email, toddstuder@gmail.com. That is my email address. And if you have a story that you would like to tell, maybe you know of a local nonprofit or maybe a local business who's doing wonderful things, get a hold of me. Let me know. We'll get them on this show. The cool thing about it is folks do not need to actually come to my studio in order to record. We can record in an online studio. So all you need is a computer with a webcam, or guess what? One of these works too. Just a smartphone. And we can do an interview that way. It's kind of cool. If you go over to my other show that was released today on the show Morning Coffee, which again, same platform where you're watching this, that's, we were recording actually a combination of the two. The young man he's a player for the local semi-pro soccer team called the CB Captains. He was using his phone for the microphone and his computer for the webcam. So that's all that it takes. Or, but just your phone on its own will do too. So also, if you're a little bit nervous about doing interviews, don't be. We can get you through that. And also, you have my word that we won't let anything out that doesn't show you at your best. That just won't happen. So get a hold of me if you know some stories, and I would really love to be able to talk to you. All right, we're going to wrap things up for today. We're going to be having guests on as the days go by. This is a daily show, so you can watch this every day. And at 8 a.m. is when it's going to be released, but it's not as if you have to watch and listen as it's released. It's not live. Look, I'm not live right now, okay? I record these ahead of time. So it's not necessary that you're there right at 8 a.m. You can watch you can watch this show tomorrow. You can watch at any time during the day. I know of one lady that she watches me by, she pulls it up on her phone on YouTube, and then she casts that signal over to her TV so she can watch it on the big screen. I thought that was kind of cool when I heard about that. All right, that's going to wrap up this one for today. Thank you so much for being a part of it. Thank you for bearing with me as we are learning and growing together as to what this show can be. But the idea is to celebrate you, the local residents all the way around Pottawattamie County. I'm Todd Studer. We'll see you again tomorrow morning.